Recording is. I think what I'll do is set the circle and then we'll have your poem, okay? All right. So let's go into our sacred safe space and call in all our teams. I'm calling mine my entourage because I've decided there's a lot of parts to it. And this way I don't have to go through and name them all. So call in all of your teams. And that's our protectors. It's everybody. And what we want to do is set aside everything we think we know and set an intention to open our minds and open our hearts for a new experience with spirit and with each other. And let's see our hearts connected in a very supportive, loving way. And for Lynn, who isn't going to be here with us this morning, and Cinda, and for everyone else who is in our community who needs prayers. And I want to call in the 4 directions. And I want to call in the 4 kingdoms. And what I saw a few days ago was the wisdom I was told each kingdom holds. I saw it released. And it's available. And it's up to us to call it in. And it's just ancient wisdom here to support us, help us, guide us. It's available. And take a breath and just let go of the day and trust the moment we are in, knowing our teams have completely surrounded us, are protecting us. We ask that they scan us, our consciousness, our bodies, to identify, neutralize, and remove anything not of our light. And all dark energies and entities must be gone now. They do not have our permission. Be gone. Deep 6, deep 6, deep 6. We are in circle. And it is set. And so it is. You're on mute, Evie.
So what are the 4 kingdoms?
Animal kingdom, human, plant, and mineral.
Oh, thank you. You ready? Yep. It's a poem called Idea by Kate Bear. I will enjoy this life. I will open it like a peach in season. Suck the juice from every finger. Run my tongue over my chin. I will not worry about cliches or uninvited guests peering in my windows. I will love and be loved. Save and be saved 1,000 times. I will let the want into my body, bless the heat under my skin. My life, I will not waste it. I will enjoy this life.
I will enjoy this life. Okay, that would make a good theme for this morning's discussion. I had an amazing meditation this morning. I think it was between 5 and 6. And if I wake up in the middle of the night, I ask for guidance, direction, insights. I ask for insights, and I ask for connection. And I ask for prayers for people who need help, need prayers. And what came in was when we started listening to the ancient ones, Sharon, you were really emphasizing that which we cannot do for ourselves. That's what spirit does. And so we were asking the ancient ones to do what we could not do for ourselves. And what I can do for myself is extremely limited. What spirit can do is infinite. And that's what I was being shown, only this time I could really feel it. So I had 2 people I have been working on. They both have cancer. One is been terminal for over a year now. And this time when I went into my prayer is I actually surrendered. And there's a feeling to it. And spirit took over. And that's how I understand spiritual healing. And it's not even a healing. What it is we see things in the human world as good and bad. And in the spirit world, this is just how I understand it. In the spirit world, there is only one state of being, and it's perfection. And in a total and complete surrender of my human mind, I felt the perfection of one or both of those 2 people I have been working on. And what that means is, in that instant, in that moment of now, to completely surrender, spirit takes over. My perception shifts, and I know the state of perfection is real. So Joel Goldsmith, I started, I think, 20 years ago. And that's how he practiced his healing practice. All he would say to somebody is, I will pray with you, or I will say a prayer for you. That's it. He never promised anything. And he would go into the silence and he would totally surrender, and he could feel like a shift inside. And that was his clue to let go. He was done with his part, and spirit took over. And he couldn't tell if it worked or not, but people would contact him and tell him, oh my gosh, your prayer healed me completely. So the idea of being completely involved in life, not in a busy way, but completely involved in life, in a awareness, in a consciousness, and being aware of the power of spirit, to me brings a feeling of being safe and a feeling of being completely accepted and loved. And it's much easier for me to forgive those I don't agree with and don't like. And it's easier for me to be understanding instead of judgmental. So there's a state of being that is my goal and my intention, and it's part of the flow of life. And it's my attitude, my intention. And that's what I'm throwing out there. And I think at this moment, that's all I know what to say. So I really would like to hear you share this morning. Thank you.
I really like and resonated with what you said about surrendering. And I think surrendering is what brings in flow in all sorts of forms, not restricted to one form. And that includes letting go of expectations, recognizing you're not in control, trusting spirit, the greater consciousness of all that is good, and that's all I'll say right now. And the act of surrendering is like the act of being present, something you need to focus on and practice. Your camera is going in and out. Very interesting. You get a wide picture and then it goes down. Ah, thank you for sharing that. That was beautiful.
This brings to my mind how some of our truths, I think, have been used to entrap us in the past. And by that, I mean, when I got into this energy work with affirmations in '89, they took me from that place of let go and let God, because God's in charge, to let go and participate with the greater. Because when you're let go and let God, left out, as I was understanding it before, left out me in this physical body, present in the moment, having the responsibility to design my life, to say yes and to say no, and be answered by that greater force, left that totally out of the picture as I had been taught it. So I had been taught that God gave me as a woman the job to take care of birth and take care of children and listen to the men over me. And God had given it to me. So I was to let go and let God whatever is there, God gave it to me. You do the best you can, suffer well, obey well, and then in the hereafter, you can be rewarded by being in the same position forever and ever. You see, so for I had to take back that concept of let go and let God, to let go and have no expectations. I had to let that old totally be pushed aside and learn with using the law of personal choice. It's my responsibility, especially in a female body, to design and declare. Who I declare it to is that greater field of life. I'm declaring it to that greater field of life. I'm listening to that greater field of life. We're participating together, but I'm the one who declares into the field. And I declare it to the best fashion I can. For example, Michelle's heart is going to recover. And then I let go of how that works. I turn it over to let go and let the greater field, or God, I call it the greater field, I don't call it God. And then that's that law of reciprocity of you get the concept, you do and participate, and put in place the best you know to do, of the best, loving, most great outcome that you can in whatever way you can. And then you say to that field beyond you, is there anything else you need from me? No, we've got it. Then you let go, and let go of expectations. Like, it was never expected that Michelle's heart would recover. There was always a possibility that it wouldn't. But we never let go of the plan that her heart would be restored until we had to replace it with a heart transplant idea. And even at that, it was still a possibility that we turned over and let go, and then rest in that energy, of bring more energy into energize. And so, I think that, that whole concept of surrender, no expectation, is so valuable. But I think the previous part of it is so incredibly valuable, because, when you talk about the man who did the prayer, he did a prayer. And he set an intention and made a declaration. There was personal choice for the highest, but not knowing what that would actually be, how it would actually come. Didn't have to take it beyond that. Let go and put in place into the hands of that field that has so much magnificence that we can't even comprehend. Then we let go. And that's where trust comes in, trusting that intelligence, that greater field of good, it absolutely exists and functions with us. So that's what comes to mind through this. Thank you, Sue and Effie.
Hello there, all of you. Yes, everything you share, all three of you, really resonates very deeply. And also because we are in the period, in the cycle of the 12th original clan mother now. And we have only one more to go, and that becomes our vision. But now we are in the cycle of gives praise. And gives praise, she who gives praise, her main teacher is to be really grateful for the things which are not yet happened. And that's really beautiful. And I have this booklet here that is this. And it's almost worn out totally, but I love to really read the first, because this full moon cycle just began. And after this meeting with us, I have a clan mother meeting with the women from the United States and from Canada, and they will
come at my time, 8:30. So that will be wonderful, wonderful follow up. And then I'd love to share this first, this first line. It doesn't feel like a poem for me, but can I read it, Sue? Is that okay for you? Is that okay with you and with everyone? Then I have to put on my glasses. Okay. Blessings of life. I've seen the spotted ponies run across miles of open plains. I've heard the rainmaker sing for thunder and rain. I've danced with kachinas deep within my dreams. I've walked the golden earth, reaching for sunbeams. The ancestors speak to me, their spirits on the wind, reminding me to be grateful for the blessings Creator sends. With beauty all around me, my heart is full of praise, for I have seen the wonders of the Earth Mother's ways. Each sunrise is a blessing, my shelter, the open sky. Earth Mother fills my heart until, like eagle, I fly. And then it says, gives praise, the clam mother of the 12th moon cycle, teaches us to never take anything for granted. When we show gratitude for all the simple joys of life, we make the space for more happiness to enter our lives. When we forget to show our thanks by taking life and breath for granted, we can lose the precious happiness that has guided our ability to receive further blessings. So, and I really love to share that last Tuesday, I was in session with Sharon, and that was, well, on the day before that, I had a physical session with my therapist and a beautiful meeting with my youngest son, Milan. And then in the evening, we had this beautiful session. And I think we were just finished for maybe 20 minutes. And then I received a very short message from my daughter. Thank you, she said. Thank you for the little bags. And it was because I also shared with Sharon that I really let go of all expectations for receiving anything or having something, because I decided to not hang any bags on the door again and just let them follow their own flow, their own river. And it felt really painful in the beginning, only this thought of it already, to really take distance and let everything go. And then I felt that whenever, I mean, it might be possible that Christiana will find a way on her path to come in my path again, to come together again, but I don't expect it. So no bags, no present, only for the birthdays. So that's only 4 times a year, and that's okay. But then I decided that on Sunday, and now on this Tuesday, there came this little message. So that was really amazing. Like, yes. And I could feel the connection. And in the night before, I dreamt of her, and I dreamt of my family, and I dreamt of my little grandson. And so this is so different. It's a different vibe. And it is much more peaceful for me. Inside, there is no pressure. And yeah, it's different. It's really different. So that's what I'd love to share. So there's a lot shifting and healing. Yeah, and after this session, I feel totally different as well. But there's still a lot to look at inside. I mean, to be totally honest, what's going on there is one of my biggest challenges, to really know this is what it is. and to let go of what I expect, of would love to expect, of really would, like to happen, because it doesn't happen yet, or maybe never. I don't know. So it's all fine for me. Thank you.
Oh, I love how you shared the flow of that. And it's so beautiful how it's evolving. And it reminds me of, on one hand, we think we know what we need, but as we define that need, if you really look underneath that and find what's driving that need, it's actually a quality, or it's different, but it gets packaged in different words until we can go underneath the layers of that and find out what is it that our heart really longs for.
My best teacher this last year has been my daughter-in-law. And my daughter's husband's daughter. But my daughter-in-law has been kind of aggressive in her belief system, and she wants us to agree with her, and none of us agree with her. She's on the other side of the political fence. We're not arguing with her, we just don't agree with her. And so the day after Christmas last year was a really hard day. She was so angry. And she cornered me, and I said, I panicked inside, I didn't know what to do. So I prayed for guidance on what came through. But the words that came through was, it's okay that we don't agree. You're okay, I'm okay. We do not need to agree. I don't remember what else I said. So at Thanksgiving, I was at her sister's house. My son wasn't there. The youngest grandchild wasn't there because she was really sick. My daughter-in-law's mom was there. I really enjoyed. And my daughter-in-law got started again. And her sister was discussing it with her, and it wasn't enough. And nobody else would talk. So my daughter-in-law and her stepdad left the table, and the kids left the table, and we played cards. When I arrived, I haven't talked to her a whole lot. When I arrived, she gave me this really warm hug. And when I went to leave, she gave me this really warm hug. And what I got in a meditation was I don't remember the words. The words were more loving than I can put together. She feels accepted, at least by me. She feels accepted. I'm not willing to argue. I am willing to listen. And there's something magical in it that's happening. And Thanksgiving was just the strangest Thanksgiving I've ever been to, I think. But as we each just love and accept her, no matter how radical she is, something is very, very slowly shifting. And I call that a healing. And all I can do is observe it, witness. I get to witness it. And that's a really beautiful thing. Witnessing it instead of engaging in it is a really beautiful experience. So I guess I'm convinced that's my path. Love and accept people where they are. No more judging. And it's really hard to do. It's really, really hard to do. So let's have a meditation. We can, if anybody has anything else to say, please go ahead. This is, to me, this is the heart journey. The more expanded my heart is, the easier it is. And I have to say though, it's taken a huge amount of work to get rid of past beliefs. And one of my big past beliefs is I am not safe, ever. And my daughter, and maybe others, they are not safe because of my past. And it's been a huge amount of work to move past that, to get rid of all the dark entities, all the dark energies, all the, oh my God. Anyway, a lot of work in order to free my heart to feel safe enough to open. But the work is worth it because living from an expanded, open, trusting heart is a beautiful life. And that's what I'm working towards.
I just want to say a reminder, actually, I think, is when we judge another, we've literally put a label on their head that locks them into that behavior and locks us into the story that they are that behavior. And our experiences, even, like our experiences of danger or trauma, of non-safety, have been real. And when you reach a point when you're ready to live differently, it's like being able to say to life, this is kind of what I'm coming to, be able to say to life itself, life, I have had a story that there is no safety here, for example. Life. And I realize that I have locked you, life, into giving me everything that proves my story's correct. But it's my story. And I am now letting go of that story. Truly, like forgiving the story, letting go of the story. There's a joy, a bubbling up that you can then say to life. So life, you and I can play together in such amazing ways. I know you have amazing, loving, expanding interaction, people experience that you have wanted to bring to me. That I have locked you out of giving that gift because of that old story. And I've completed the old story. So I am now ready to play with you in those new ways. And that's kind of where you're at.
That was beautifully said. I don't even want a story anymore because it does limit me and locks me in. I do not want to. I'm on a journey. I'm on a path. The path may change. It may switch back and forth. It may, but it's a journey, not a story.
And
So,
I think that's what the poem I read was about.
it seems like it.
Because it's a choice.
All day long, it's a choice. Are we ready? So, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. What do you want? 10? 15? 10? Okay, let's do 10 minutes. I'll call us back. And we're such seasoned meditators. Let's just go back into our safe, sacred space and let the journey begin. You're on mute, Sharon.
I just want to make sure that we put Cinda in and her heart in our circle, and Erwin and his heart into our circle.
Yeah. And Lynn and Don. Yeah.
Tom,
Go ahead.
Tom. I thought you said Don.
Lynn and
Tom.
Don. Yeah. Tom. Yes, you're right. Thank you. I thought something didn't sound right. Thank you, Lynn and Tom. Yes. Okay, let's go into meditation and open our minds, open our hearts, and open our experience. And I'll call us back in 10 minutes. You may very gently come back to the circle when you are ready. Anyone like to share?
I'll begin. I'm working on a personal issue. So I'm kind of still in the middle of it, and we'll just continue when the circle's finished.
Well, for me, I went into setting the intention. This is a heart journey meditation. And my heart just opened up. And it was absolutely gorgeous. It was so beautiful, I shut it down. I am still so afraid of being that vulnerable. To have an open heart is to be vulnerable. So, more work.
I don't believe that we were to have an open heart without guardians at the door. Not in our contaminated world right now. And so I think your heart has to know that guardian shield exists, that's filtering all the time for safety. And it's not the heart's job to worry about safety, but to trust the guardian collective of Sophia.
I don't know what to say. I've worked on this for so long. It gets better. But for now, I'm complete. Is there anything else anyone wants to share? Okay.
When I enter the field of limitless possibilities, I feel I'm open to receive whatever comes forward. And my awareness goes to my pelvic center and beyond to connect with the mother and the heartbeat with the mother and her heartbeat. I am barefoot and start to walk in a very conscious way, putting my feet with every step on the body of our mother, with the most possible attention and intention of love. Connecting in this way feels like a natural exchange of love. She is receiving my intention, and it feels her body is embracing my whole being. I feel her heartbeat growing inside of me and steady, never-ending pulse, which is inviting comforting and whole. She speaks, and I feel her message in my whole being. Love is the way of the open heart. Be invited to dance with me on the rhythm of my heartbeat, each surrounded by your own angels and spirit beings.
You just reminded me this morning, last night, when I decided to call my spiritual team, my entourage. That brought the greatest feeling of feeling safe. And I forgot that this morning. Brand new. Brand new experience. So now I have to remember to keep calling it in, because my entourage is huge. It's just huge. And that seems to be what I need. So thank you for reminding me. Thank you for my heart experience. Thank you for all these heart shares. Love you all. You have a peaceful day.
Thank you, Susan, for your beautiful invitation and love. And thank you all.
Thanks for the circle, Sue, and thank you.
Thank you, Sue, and everybody else.